Hey, how's it going? My name is Mattias Freydell. This is my website Beyond Trends on the overconsumption of fashion. So here we have my welcome page, which just basically I start off introducing myself slightly with the first topic sentence. Welcome to my site, Mattias Freydell. Here I spoke information between style, combat individuality, and responsible fashion. And then here's my about me, where I just go a little bit deeper into who I am and how I really got into fashion in the first place, and how that really made me realize about what kind of stuff fashion um, has caused in the world, like in terms of the environment and how workers are being mistreated constantly. So that's just what I'm into a little bit. And this is my video right here, where it's just more about inside, just about me. And then yeah, my contact list down here. So for my statement of purpose on this slide, once again, I'm just using different color gradients just to make it look simple. Like let's say if you were to get onto a website for a store, like a designer store, with bold color, with just bland colors like white, gray, and black, while keeping things straightforward. That's the kind of look I was going for here, just to appeal to my audience a little bit. And here I talk about how websites to bring actual attention to cost of fast fashion in terms of the environment and how people are being mistreated constantly. And my main audience specifically is young adults, so I try to make this website in terms of how I like websites built, which is nice, easy, and convenient. Like instead of the long thing, I prefer the more with each different section. And now moving on to identifying the issue on this slide, in this section, I essentially describe what the initial problem is, which is the overconsumption and overproduction of fast fashion. Companies constantly releasing new things for people to buy, so people inherently start spending more money, which inherently more trash ends up, in our world, on our planet. And yeah, so that's why I identified this issue. And then I like these. I like using these gradients because they help the websites flow well together, flow seamlessly. And then right here, I have an example of a couple brands that are questionable in terms of ethics and what they do for the environment, especially. Yeah, and actually, some of them to do with even your own health in terms of the quality of materials they use. Wouldn't be too good for you. So yeah, since the clothes are made quickly and cheaply, like I said, they often fall apart, and you can't really wear them. They don't get enough wear, as in clothes that are made with higher quality materials. Hence, you spend more money and you're polluting the environment. So now the impact. So as you can see with these devastating pictures of clothes, I'm trying to appeal to the readers to pathos, trying to appeal to emotion, and with these pictures, it really helps with like for example, these even more photos. Like look how much just clothes just filled on these beaches and just on these lots of land. It's a really sad thing to see. So here I go talk about how synthetic fabrics really make a difference in terms of the quality of material. Like let's say organic cotton, let's say producing cotton with synthetic cotton would drain around 2,700 liters of water in terms of which would be, to put in perspective how much that is, it'd be around 3 years, 2.5 years per person on average. So it's quite incredible that just one T-shirt worth of cotton is pretty much the same as 2.5 years of someone drinking water, which is crazy to me. And then even further, talk about water consumption once again and how carbon uses even more water than cotton in production. I mean, not carbon, sorry, polyester. My apologies. We have more photos showing appealing to pathos and just showing how people are just showing a picture of these sweatshops in Bangladesh and Morocco. And then, so fast fashion doesn't impact just the environment; it also affects the people behind the clothes, as you can see here. So I hope to appeal to the reader in that regard, in that sense. And right here, I have just a specific, just long paragraph, just look into the life of garment workers. I'm specifically talking about how using examples of how Shein workers, Shein suppliers have had their workers work up to 80-hour weeks with no time off. And they reported that the conditions are in general just very harsh and with extremely low wages. So that's just incredibly unfair. So I wanted to highlight that over here. And then I wanted to end it off with how these examples show that behind the low prices of fast fashion are cost beyond money, with workers paying the price for global demand. But this last sentence did for this paragraph is it helped it flow seamlessly into my solutions page, where I talk about how we can actually stop this environmental impact and how people are getting abused. So here I use this multi-dynamic photo with multiple how it's repeating itself, and then yeah, that helped provide a unique taste in terms of the website. And then right here, I describe many companies are using new materials such as Adidas, Patagonia, which are actually being supporting innovation in fashion, which is important. And then I have this list for realistic steps towards a more ethical fashion industry. So that would be like one example: choose clothing made from sustainable materials. Like actually buy like right here, companies like Patagonia already use materials. So and it shows that you can be sustainable and profitable as a company, which is the whole point. And then support brands that pay for your wages to the workers, because why would you support a company that mistreats people? And then yeah, so you also buy fewer higher quality items. Let's say you're going shopping twice a month, maybe on average. Essentially, with these fast fashion companies, with these materials that are super low in quality, you end up using these clothes super fast, and you actually don't get any use out of them, and they just end up in the ocean. And you actually spending more money on materials instead of just copying, buying more expensive, higher quality items. You'll first of all gain more connection to your clothes and build a more personal wardrobe. You'll also be able to wear your items for longer and really give them personality. Shop secondhand or swap clothing with others. Yeah, so this is quite just in the quite obvious. Obviously, shopping, going and buying clothes that are reused to those clothes being thrown away, you buying them. It's very useful helps keep garments in use longer instead of having them just be wasted in different places. And yeah, ethics. This is me talking about how change really starts with brands starting to value fair production, even with the environment and with workers, and how unsafe conditions and really aren't okay in terms of humanities. That companies they start taking these policies more serious. And now moving on to my next section, what you can do. So I wanted to go for I found this image specifically with like some plants to make it seem more natural. I mean, in reality, just so some organic material, conveyed to the reader. So right here, I talk about taking action, how everyone reading this, watching this video could take actions today in terms of, making your clothes last longer or not ending up in the trash or being careful and being ethical when it comes to shopping and consumption. So here's I have 4 simple ways to advocate for better fashion industry. So first, be more mindful. You have to choose items from organic, cotton, recycled, polyester, responsible source materials instead of things that are being produced in inefficient ways, which do not support the environment. Support ethical brands that do these things because they're the ones worth supporting in terms of quality and ethics. Repair, reuse, and resell. Well, this is once again evident. Instead of throwing away clothes into wherever they're going to end up, you should just reuse them, try to restyle things maybe, or you can just sell them to someone else, put them on Depop, Facebook Marketplace. Things work out, get your money back, and you don't have to do that. And spread awareness. Like what this website's for, and all, just spread awareness about these simple problems, just bad habits. I just want to make sure the readers of mine are able to elevate and take better steps into making these correct choices and learn more tools for taking action. So here you go. I have some. I'm on the third slide. So I have a little slideshow here. So it's just some little things to make sure you're doing these things right. So how to check if a brand's ethical. First, there's companies like Fairtrade, B Corp that you can research the company or if the brand you're shopping on is certified by these places, which will tell you if they are ethical because they do check for that. But yeah, usually if a company's ethical, they will claim it. So usually you can take that on true face value, but just if you want to double check. So how to shop secondhand effectively. Thrifting and secondhand shopping are definitely some of the easiest ways to not only reduce waste, but actually find clothes you like and just looking for high quality items. Like most of my shopping is done like this, secondhand, whether that be online or in person. It's just I find it easier to be able to not only just find things I like more, just things that when I receive these items, and after a while searching, you tend to be able to choose out what is actually high quality and what actually you want to do, what you want in your personal style. So it helps you build your own style and get high quality items and help the environment. So definitely important thing to take into account. And then third, how to make your clothes last longer. This is pretty simple. You should treat your clothes like you should treat anyone in reality. Clothes are an extension of you. So don't treat them bad if you want them to last long, especially if they're not high quality items. So, but even with your high quality items, make sure to take care of them. Doesn't mean they can just be thrown around. You don't want to waste your money, I assume. So, all right, so now here's my creative portion. Build a more sustainable outfit. So here I'm simply highlighting how it's all about simple swaps. You don't have to really change how you dress or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just all about making choices that are better for the environment. Like let's say here we have a cotton shirt, organic cotton shirt, which this instead of a shirt, a polyester shirt from fucking Zara, it's beneficial. And yeah, and right here we have example instead of we have thrifted jeans right here, which also makes a better swap opposed to low quality fabrics which show immense responsibility for water pollution in terms of textiles, dyes, and all that. It's really bad for water consumption and for the environment. So it's just better for these swaps to be made. And then on top of that, I wanted to highlight style paths. Most people find it hard to just deep dive directly into these habits. So I divided it down into 3 different sections, which is re-wearing your clothes, focusing on getting the actual wear of your clothes and actually wearing them to their full potential, trying to make sure everything works properly before you give up on an article of clothing before you move on and buy something else. The thrifting, essentially, like I said, buying stuff secondhand, whether that be online, in person, Depop, local thrift shops, Yahweh's. If that's you do that, and just being conscious about your overconsumption. Being like, you look for brands that are high quality, and sometimes if you're in a rush and you have to buy something for something like an event or something like that. You can take a purchase for a one-time thing. It's just you have to be mindful of your consumption. You can't overly consume on these things because it really ends up bad for the environment. So here's my works cited. So nice and simple, black and white, just to make it look good. And now here are my further readings. These are my recommendations to my readers. I dive a little bit on each one just to talk about how these have helped me learn about the topic in general. So I think if my readers are actually interested, these are my 3 recommendations. These would be good. So just hit the read now, and I'll take you to the site, as you can see. Sage journals. So we have the journals about everything. And that's it. That's my website. Thank you for listening, and see you next time.